Well, here we go. It's time for the finale of Season 1 of F1 My Team on F1 22. Today we're here for the new updated Abu Dhabi Grand Prix, and I for one am very excited for this one as I really love the layout. Now, if you haven't seen the previous episode sprint race at Brazil, go check it out, link in the top right as always. But we have, as usual, a Pirelli Hotlap to start off the episode, and we're going to do the drift challenge in essentially the safety car, the Mercedes safety car here in Abu Dhabi. And oh boy, this was a lot of fun. The new turn 10 provides an awesome opportunity to get some really sick drifts going, and not just that, also the new turn 5 as well allows for some pretty damn sweet drifts. And I was having a pretty good time just kicking the back end out in the car and just seeing how much we could max it out as we easily achieved the gold score here, as we scored nearly 2,300 points more. So yeah, we start the weekend on the right foot, and getting an extra 1,000 acclaim points and also $100,000, which is going to help heading into the off season, a very, very important off season, of course, this year, as we have a regulation change, and we'll talk about that in a moment. For now though, weather forecast is going to be dry, as you'd expect in the middle of the desert. We then look at upgrades. Now, we have a failure for the last time this season, so we're going to have to take care of that eventually. But for now, you can see here, I did actually repurchase that failed upgrade, and we have 5 upgrades planned and on the way. So fingers crossed they all arrive, and we can add to that during the off season, while other teams focus on durability, which is where the regulation change is taking place. As you can see, we haven't brought any upgrades for the last couple of races, and it has hurt our performance. And like I said, looking at this, the off-season is going to be so crucial, and I can't wait. So here is confirmation. You can see just the durability is being affected, and we've protected all of our upgrades. The only issue is we might lose some, if not all, of our general wear upgrades from Mercedes. Either way, this weekend we're going to change the power unit components and go back to the freshest available ones that we have for every single one, including, I believe, a brand new gearbox. This weekend we're running 105 AI. I did a bit of practice, and this felt like the right difficulty, and we're going to try and stick with it for the qualifying and the race. Now, with that said, we move into practice for the first time around the updated layout, which is a hell of a lot of fun and a lot more slick and just flowing than the previous one. We smashed it with the track acclimatization. As you can see, we only had 1 green score. After that, we'd move into the next program, which is going to be the tyre wear test. And again, here as well, no dramas whatsoever. As you can see, we're on for the maximum possible score. A little bit wide for the final corner. I was struggling to find my braking point and get the car slowed down for that particular apex, but still, we get a purple score and maximum points. And then after that, we went ahead and moved into the race strategy program as always. And this one also was no sweat. That's really got the job done. And you can see that we get a purple score. So happy days. Car working well. Pace seems decent. Tyre wear better than predicted. And I will admit, the pace on the last lap was quite poor. That's because I was starting to overheat my tyres. So I actually, for qualifying, I'm going to just readjust my pressures a little bit, drop them down a touch, just to avoid the rears overheating. Now, after practice, as always, we're going to get a bunch of discounts added, and we'll have a look at these upgrades at the end of, in the next episode for the preseason video. For this one, we're not going to do any upgrades. I'll just end the episode after the race, and we'll save, the changes for the preseason video. But for now, we're going to move into qualifying. As you can see, night skies are falling here at Yas Marina as we get qualifying underway. Helmet on, ready to go. So let's get into it. First of all, Q1. We're going to try it and go for 3 runs in this final qualifying of the season. I want to give it everything I've got and try to get into Q2. Currently, you join me at the end of my first push lap, which wasn't too bad. A little bit on the safer side, but it wasn't a bad lap by any means. Making our way out the final corner, and we set a 23.7, which puts us ahead of our teammate for now, and Magnussen as well, behind Bottas and Latifi. Eventually, we got pushed down to P20, so I went out for my second attempt, and it was an improvement, but there was more time to find. Either way, we nailed the final corner and improved by nearly 3/10. Doesn't change our position, but we do gain a bit of time. You can see here, I went back to the pits, and the gaps we have are pretty close actually, all the way up to Zhou Guanyu in P16. It's actually quite competitive. So yeah, either way, seeing that Stroll and Albon are like half a second quicker, that does also mean that AI have a bit more pace to burn. So I need to try and find a couple of tenths. So here we go, the last qualifying lap of the season. Let's enjoy it. So at the final corner, down to turn number 1. Spot the braking point, which is usually about 90 meters, down to 5th. Easy on the power as you now head through turn 2, which is just about flat, and so is turn 3, although I had a little slight lift as a correction. Down to now turn 4, and then now the new turn 5. Brake at the 50, down to 4th gear, try to pick up a late apex, and use the new exit and the wider corner radius to really drive off and get that power down a bit earlier. Flat out as we prepare the brake zone, the left-right chicane. Bang on the 100, you want to try and brake. Down to 3rd gear, clip the inside curb and open up the right as much as possible. Try to keep some revs in there and some minimum speed to improve your exit, and you can see we're finding a load of time. Now down to turn number 10. Bring the car over to the right at the 50, brake and start to turn in. Try to again get a late apex to focus on your exit out of here and use all of the new runoff curb as we now head into the triple rights. Miss the first apex on purpose, then get the car lined up for the brake zone for the second, and then through this now off camber section under the hotel. Make sure you're very patient on the throttle. Now making our way into the final 2 corners, flat out through the penultimate corner and the final corner, down to 4th, smooth on the traction in 5th, and up to the line we go. And we improved by nearly 3 tenths yet again, so a decent progression and improvement throughout qualifying, eventually finding about 5.5 tenths across the session, and it means we finished P21. And you can see me holding up there a small margin because that is what we missed out on compared to our teammate, as Jack Aitken does out-qualify us in the final qualifying of the season. So yeah guys, there's a lot for Q1, job done, and we're not last. You know, Bottas had a bit of a poor session. The pace doesn't seem too bad, but we're still a way off, and the charts don't lie. We are the bottom team for a reason, and the pace is showing. So we're more or less where we need to be. So yeah guys, qualifying done. We're now going to move into the final race of season 1.
So here we are, ready to go racing for one final time this year. Another season of victories, controversies and rivalries lies in our wake. And just one challenge remains, here in the United Arab Emirates, on a circuit that made its spectacular debut back in 2009. Welcome to the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. We have 16 corners here at Yas Marina Circuit, 7 to the right and 9 to the left. It's a total lap distance of 3.28 miles, 2 long straights and overtaking opportunities throughout the lap. We expect average speeds of around 123 miles per hour. So with the race not far away from starting, here's what today's grid rundown looks like. It's Carlos Sainz in pole position, edging out Sergio Perez, who lines up P2. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Hamilton, Norris, Max Verstappen, and Russell. Leclerc, they'll be starting further back after an earlier grid penalty. Vettel, Stroll, and Nicholas Latifi. Aitken, Magnussen, they've taken a grid penalty. Martinez and Joe. Ricciardo, Gasly, Yuki Tsunoda, they'll be starting further back after an earlier grid penalty. And Esteban Ocon, Bottas, Fernando Alonso, Albon, and Mick Schumacher. And with lights out just moments away, it's time to go down to the track.
Now here we are for the final race in season number 1. I've kept the difficulty on 105 just to make it a bit more fun and to try and end on a high. I was going to go 106, but I thought, you know what, I'll keep it the same. The pace was very similar between me and Aitken all weekend long, so I'm expecting the race to be a bit more fun, hopefully. Now, strategy-wise, we're going to load up our personalised strategy, and we're going to see what options we have. So I feel like I want to start in the hard tyre, but I'm going to keep it basic. I'm going to go medium to hard, possibly medium to soft, if I can drag the mediums on long enough. So we'll see how the tyre wear holds up. Fuel-wise, we'll go for about 0.8 of a lap extra. And yeah, it's a final race. I'm looking forward to it. P13 we're starting, by the way. A lot of penalties, and we've gained a hell of a lot. So let's take full advantage, and let's try and end on a high. I don't know if we'll get points, but Aitken's P11, We're P13, so we've got a pretty good chance if the race pace is there. So leave a like and let's get into the formation lap. Right then, for the final time this season, we're going to line her up on the grid and see if we can get a decent start. Getting the last bit of a retire attempt as we line up in our grid slot. There we go, right.
Okay, so that's the rest of the grid forming up now. Be patient and watch for those lights.
Cheers, Elvis. Right, let's do it. Last time this season we got to see the lights. Let's make it a good one. Ooh, not the best start. Quite a bit of wall spin. Easy does it. Into turn one here. Don't want to hit the back of our teammate. Got the Joe Guan Yu on the inside. We're going to send it around the outside. Oh my god. Yes, what a move. Whew. That was a committed overtake. And we made it work. Down to turn 4 we go. Going to try my luck on the outside. Using the wider line. Doesn't really work to be fair, but we do get an excellent exit. Which will put us on the back of Stroll. Latifi, we've got Bottas right behind, so I've got to keep the battery on just to be safe. Now into the brake zone, let's see what happens here. Going to keep my car in the middle of the track. Try and get some form of a cutback here as we set up the exit. Here we go, another drag race. The two Canadians going at it. Meanwhile, Bottas and Magnussen squabbling behind as we head into the new left-hander here. I'm going to try and sneak up the inside of Latifi and use that overtake from Stroll as we move into the top 10. More battles ahead. And it's all kicking off between Verstappen and Norris, I can see, just up in front of us there. Oh god, back end getting a bit loose, almost on Latifi. Just managed to catch it there. Well, lap 1 in the books, and we're in the points, and George Russell pits for Mercedes, so that makes it P9 for us. Happy days. Signs in the pit lane as well, so P8. Lovely stuff. Well in the points. Let's see if we have any pace or if we'll inevitably start dropping back. For now though, excellent start to this race. Our straight line speed actually looks pretty damn good. I'm really happy so far. I do have to burn a little bit of battery, but once we kind of get past the first 5-6 gears, we're actually okay in terms of straight line speed. So that's encouraging. So far we're hanging on. To be fair, the Aston Martins are hanging on to the Mercedes, the Ferraris, whoever's ahead of us. So it seems that maybe the cars in front may have some slight damage, so it's keeping everyone in play. And as the leaders actually pull away and open up a big gap. So for now we're hanging on. Everyone's just following one big pack. The new layout of course is going to help that as well. Okay, now the race is going to start to open up. So we set 2 consecutive 26-1s. But worth noting that Seb has now dropped out of the DRS range of the cars ahead, so Stroll should be putting some more pressure on him soon, so this battle should continue and keep us in play. I'm just about able to hang on to the 1 second DRS window. Only just though, literally hanging on by a thread. Luckily our straight line speed is very good. I went for the low downfall setup and it's paid off. The car is competitive on a straight line and that's very encouraging, so it should make us a bit more racy today and able to defend ourselves. Oh, and Sebastian Vettel locks up. That waves Stroll through. Just as I was about to drop out of the DRS range, I've been given a lifeline, so we'll take it. Let's try and get into the slipstream here. I'm trying to recharge a little bit of battery if I can. Here comes Magnussen. We cover off the inside. He commits, but we're going to take the wide line here and stay in front. I love that new corner, man. It's just fun racing it. Different lines you can take. That's the Martins are starting to push. I'm struggling to hang on to the pace. They've just kind of cranked up a little bit and I'm trying to follow, but it's going to be tight if I hang on to DRS or not. I think we're not the best in the first sector and it shows. And I think we might just drop out here. Got some front understeer there, just washing me out and we're out of range. Unless somehow I pulled it back in the brake zone, I don't think we're getting it. No, we're not. Well, we're out of range. I'm not going to get back in now. That was my kind of saving grace. So we might have to play this smart and use Magnussen and Ricciardo as our way to kind of stay competitive in this race. So we'll try and follow K-Mag and see if he can bring us back up to the Aston Martins. Yellow flag just further back than I can see on the minimap in the hairpin. Looks like, I think one of the Alpines is slowing down. Alpine or Williams. Alonso. So Alonso out of the race. Bit of a shame after having 2 poles in the last 3 races. Shame for his season to end that way, but no safety car or virtual safety car, so we'll keep chugging along. I don't see why the AI do this all the time. They need to patch it. You can't overtake in a yellow flag zone, but the AI just overtake anyway. It doesn't seem to matter to them. Here comes Ricciardo. I'm trying to stay in front, but clearly he's just draining all of his battery, so I can't do much about it. Just going to cost us time versus Magnussen, which is exactly what I don't want. And there we go, I'm out of DRS range already, so go on Daniel, go past mate. Don't you dare sit behind me now. Go on, use the battery like last time. I don't even want to fight, just let him go and we'll just fall in behind and follow. I don't want to waste time battling. Yeah, the pace is gone. I'm now out of DRS range with Ricciardo. I can't keep up at all. I'm out of battery as well. Tyre wear kicking in. It's definitely going to be a one-stop, medium to hard if we want to one-stop it. If not, then we're looking at a 2-stop strategy. That's maybe another option. Ocon's next. He's going to be the next one to try and get past, and I don't really have anything to defend with, so let's see how this works out. Well, this isn't going to take long. Ocon should have this pretty easy. I'll just leave the right side open so that he doesn't waste any time on the braking. Meanwhile, Ricciardo and Magnussen are battling. Also the 2 Aston Martins, so that's good news for us. If they can not get too far away, maybe on the hard tyre we might be more competitive. But it just feels like as tyre wear kicks in, we're just losing the edge a bit, which understandable. But the AI can hold onto their tyres better than us. That's unfortunate, but that's just the way it is.
Okay, here's some information on Latifi. Okay, they're out of this race.
Latifi out of the race. Will we get a safety car? I don't think we will. I think the safety car is bugged. I think I've said it for a while now, but we haven't had one in ages. And the safety car is just not working anymore in this career mode for some reason. I'm struggling so much, man. I've got no rear tyres. Yeah, I need them fresh tyres. Okay, I'm going to pit this lap and go for an undercut. Ocon has caught up to Ricciardo and Magnussen, and they're all battling amongst themselves. We usually lose time on outlap, so I feel like if I can take the pain a lap earlier and then be on nice warm tyres, by the time they've rejoined, that might be an advantage for us. So I'm going to take the plunge. Magnussen pits as well. Oh, that pit entry is so tough now. You carry so much more speed on entry. Right, let's go the hard tyre and keep it simple, straightforward. Very important outlap here, and I usually struggle so much on cold tyres.
Okay, Jack's coming in for his stop now.
We managed to hold up Magnussen a bit, which is good. Hopefully Aiken doesn't lose time. Away we go.
Look after these tyres now. We want to finish the race on this compound.
Out the pits we go. Trying to switch the rear tyres on as quickly as possible. That's the key thing here. Getting the rear tyres to work so you can traction up at least. We're going to have signs right behind us. So much grip now in this final sector. Much better than before. That's where you make up the lap time. I still don't think it's going to be enough, but it'll give us a chance anyway. We've got signs right behind, so I hope we're getting past very soon. Let's see how it all shakes out. It says Ocon now just rejoining ahead of us, so we haven't really gained anything, to be fair, which is a bit unfortunate. Meanwhile, here comes Carlos Sainz. I'm going to just fall in behind. Got to be careful with Gasly. This is 4th position, by the way, so we don't want to let Gasly by if I can avoid it. We can just use Sainz here for some DRS, at least for these 2 straights, to help us out. Personal best, just following Sainz around. I think he's got to stop again. I think he boxed those hard tyres at the start of the race because his pace isn't, fantastic for a Ferrari. So yeah, this is working out nicely for us. It's just helping us draw us along, basically, keep us ahead of Gasly, and keep the gap to Schumacher. So this is going pretty damn well at the minute. We're not gaining on the cars ahead, but I'm still confident they'll battle enough that we might have a chance to catch later on down the line. Just going to make sure I stay within range here of DRS of Sainz for as long as possible. Valtteri Bottas in the pits, that will move us up into P12. And then once Sainz pit, that should be P11 for us. And I think that's the highest we can hope for this race. Unless there's a miracle or something happens. We've also got to try and keep Pierre Gasly behind, which isn't going to be easy. Especially now I've dropped out of the DRS range of Carlos. Here we go. We'll actually let Pierre go past it on the straight and then we'll get it back on the next one. If he wants to challenge, that is. Come on Pierre, let's go mate. There we go. We'll just be patient. Set up the exit. Do I have enough to pass him with just the RS? No, I don't. No chance. Even with the RS, I was still struggling to get by it. Whoa!
Check your MFD for a new strategy option.
Come on. Has so much space on the inside of the track to keep it on. Damn it. Well, it's going to have to be a used medium. I don't think a fresh soft's going to make it.
Understood. Copy that.
God's sake. This is so annoying. Ocon pit as well. That would have been points. That is really annoying. Could have been points right there and then. Thank you, Carlos, mate. Or sorry, thank you, Pierre. Appreciate it. Right, come on. Quick stop, please, boys. Oh no. What tyres have we had put on? Oh no, it's that really worn. Don't we have another set of mediums? We've had this before.
One stop to go. Just one stop left in this strategy.
Don't we have like another really like worn set of mediums? Oh, sorry, a fresh set of mediums somewhere. I wish we could pick our allocation. I'm convinced teams have more than just one set of mediums for the race. Come on. Just ridiculous. Oh well, soft tyres it is then. We'll have to pit again this lap. Well, here we go. Let's box again. Nothing to fight for this race now, unfortunately, unless it's a safety car, so sucks to be me. Russell in the pit lane as well. We're going to get a lap now because of this. Oh, what a terrible end. It was going so well. I mean, I wasn't going to score points this race probably, but it would have still been, you know, P11 or something. It's going pretty well. I hate this no engine sound bug. I can't hear when I've got to pull away. It's horrible. One of the many bugs in this game.
Okay, stay clear of the white line on the exit. We'll receive a penalty for dangerous driving if you cross onto the track.
Might have to just let myself get a lap here. I'd rather just finish a race than go an extra lap on my own. We're not going to get a safety car. We don't seem to get safety cars anymore, so we're not going to get bailed out in this race, so forget about it. 24.5, didn't quite get the fastest lap. Stroll to set it, 24.3, so we're kind of into a fastest lap on fresh softs. Right, we've done a little personal best attempt. I'll now let myself get a lap by Lewis Hamilton, who's leading the race, by the way. Charles Leclerc sitting in P4, so as it stands, Charles Leclerc is on for his first championship. Hamilton doing everything he can to outscore. The gap is 18 points to Leclerc's favour. Right now, Hamilton is outscoring by 13 points, as he would win with 25. Leclerc P4 with 12 points. So at the minute, it's looking okay, although Leclerc under pressure from Lando and Norris, but even then, that would still be safe for the championship. Well, we're about to get a lap decided. Make a mistake, rear tires get a bit hot. If Hamilton overtakes, he's currently lap 25, so we're going to lap 26, which means pretty much no chance for a safety car, so I'm just going to retire the car. I don't see any point in doing the last 3 laps for no reason, so yeah, we'll just call it quits for this race. So we'll let Lewis go and get out of his way, but we're going to call it a day and call it a race, call it a season, and forget about it and move on, because we need to improve, and I'm sick of just driving this car. It was looking promising, but
5 laps of fuel remaining. 5 laps of fuel left.
It all went downhill eventually. Once tyre wear kicks in, we've got no pace, so there we go, job done.
Well, it's certainly been an incredible year for Formula One, and our drivers have all pushed themselves this season, making it one of the most compelling years of racing in history. There can only be one champion, however, and here they are now, our new Formula One World Drivers' Champion. can now see the drivers making their way to the podium. Once again, it's the Silver Arrows who take the top spot. A well-earned victory for Mercedes.
And there we have it then, job done, season finished. Lewis Hamilton wins the race, but just misses out on the title by, I believe, 3 points, which we will confirm. And now Leclerc wins his first ever championship, and also Ferrari's first since 2007. They also did a double. They won the Constructors, of course, a couple of races ago, so Ferrari winning both titles in 2022. Worth noting, you know, similar to last year, 2021, Ferrari started off the season strong. In this case, they were Red Bull. And then as the season went on, Mercedes started to fight back. And Mercedes were the stronger car at the end, but it wasn't quite enough. So, yeah, Hamilton will have to wait another year for his 8th title. Perez and Verstappen join him on the podium, Lando Norris P4. It looks like Leclerc had damaged that race because he was 22 seconds off the lead. And he only finished 6 seconds ahead of Carlos Sainz, and Sainz 2-stopped. So, yeah, it seems like maybe Leclerc had damage and lost a bit of time towards the end of the race. Ricciardo P6, so McLaren gets some strong points in the last race. Sebastian Vettel yet again picking up massive points for Aston Martin. What a second half of the season for Seb. You know, Aston Martin brought the upgrades and Seb responded and he picked up his pace and he delivered some very strong points finishes at the end of the season. And Aston Martin just got too quick for us and became, you know, unattainable for us to keep them behind. Sainz, Magnussen, and Bottas ran out the points, and then you can see we've got all the non-point scorers, including Aitken in P15, and then myself in P20. Ocon with the fastest lap, and there's your lot. So standings, there is confirmation. Leclerc 403, Hamilton 400, then Sainz 84 points adrift of his teammate. Considering Sainz led for most of the first half of the season, it was a pretty big drop off from Carlos in the first half of the season. For us though, we finished in P15 behind Sebastian Vettel. And yeah, Seb, like I said, putting in a really big shift, picking up big points in the second half of the season, and he just was too fast for us. So yeah, there's a lot in the Constructors. Confirmation, we're finishing P9, 3 points ahead of Alphatauri, so very happy with that one. Aston Martin P8 with 31 points, they were just too fast. And yeah, Ferrari win the Constructors, so there's a lot, guys, for season number 1. Pretty much, I'd say overall a frustrating season. We're going to move back into the laptop and do some preseason work, but for this episode I'm going to call it a day. So thank you for watching, guys, appreciate it. Leave a like if you enjoyed. At least, you know, most of that race we was doing pretty well. Subscribe for more, and I've got some big things for season 2, so stay tuned, and hopefully the off season is going to be good for us and kind to us. So yeah, guys, cheers for watching. As always, a big shout out to the members for supporting the content. Finally, check out the 2 videos on screen if you haven't seen them, and yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. Until then, take care, and that's goodbye from me.